is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, would you please call roll?
Councilwoman Fugit.
Here.
Councilwoman Helsley.
Here.
Councilwoman McKenzie.
Here.
Councilwoman Parker. Councilwoman Ryder.
She just went.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes. Here.
Councilman Roberto.
Here.
Councilwoman Singh. Vice Mayor Smith.
Here.
And Councilman Thomas. 8 members present, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a motion on the minutes from last meeting?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any items to be withdrawn from tonight's agenda? Are there any items to be postponed for tonight's agenda? Are there any items requested to be added by motion? Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Can't vote on anything.
Oh, okay. Well, we will hold off. I'll go ahead and, if it's okay with council, I'll go ahead and give my mayor's report, because that doesn't require a vote. I don't have a mayor's report tonight.
There's one piece of big news you can
Yes,
share.
but I will just share that based on conversations I've had with Vice Mayor Smith and with, our UT partners, there is, as you know, a parade that's going to be starting in a few minutes, and followed by a celebration on Market Square. This is a big deal for our community, and I'm happy to help host this celebration. And I want to invite council members. I'm going to be giving a proclamation on Market Square on stage with the team and coaches, surrounded by a bunch of fans. So based on my conversations with Vice Mayor Smith, we plan to call a recess at around 6:25. So everyone on council and anyone else from city staff or interested members of the audience are welcome to walk out to Market Square and enjoy the festivities. And then we'll reconvene, I'm thinking 7:15, 45 minutes or so. That's by the time we walk there and walk back. So that is the current working plan, and we anticipate being able to conduct some of the city's business before that time, and then anything that remains on the agenda will proceed as soon as we reconvene at around 7:15. Okay, so that's the current working plan, and that does it for my mayor's report. Any reports from council members or committees? Vice Mayor Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Just 3 items, since we have a couple minutes. Last week, council met to review development incentives as part of a workshop. The public can view that on the city council website. I encourage you to look at the packet materials that were presented at that time. The second item was also last week, the South Waterfront Advisory and Advocacy Committee group met at Kearns to review a lot of the south-west corridor, Blunt Avenue area, downriver area plan. So I encourage anybody in the public who's interested in that material to go to the city's website and search for connectivity. There's an entire page with hundreds of more pages associated to it. So that's a very important plan for South Knoxville. And the third item is to wish Councilwoman Parker an early birthday in the next few days.
Okay. Councilmember Roberto?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to take a minute to welcome Ben Collette, who is here from West High School. He's here as a part of his merit badge requirement for seeking his Eagle Scout. So just want to say congratulations to him on pursuing that Eagle Scout, and welcome to council.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Any other reports from council members? Councilmember Parker, is your light on for a committee council member report, or is that inadvertent?
I just wanted to clarify what was covered
Yes,
under item 5.
Yes, we're going to go back and do that since we didn't want to take any votes.
We haven't done item 5.
No, we wanted to start a little early because we're going to take a recess for people to go partake in the celebrations, but we didn't want to do any votes before 6, so we will make sure to go over that now, as soon as
all I had.
council member reports are done. Any other council member reports? Okay, we'll go back and, I think I mistakenly asked for a vote on the approval of the minutes, so let's just redo that now that everybody's here and it's after 6 o'clock. Is there a motion on the minutes from the last meeting? Motion to approve has been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll go to item 5A. Are there any items to be withdrawn? Are there any items to be postponed? Are there any items requested to be added? Is there a motion on the consent agenda? Motion made to approve and seconded. Oh, Councilmember Parker, did you have your light on to speak?
Yeah, I was going to make a motion to add items to the consent agenda.
Oh, okay. Which items would you like to move to add to the consent agenda?
I cannot see them in front of me, sorry, but the ordinances on second reading.
Okay, all of them? So items 9A through G?
Yes, and I do not believe anyone has signed up to speak to those items, which is
That's correct.
what is what I look to determine whether to support a motion, and so I'd like to support one today.
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to move items 9A, all items under second reading to the consent agenda has been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Any other motions or items to add to the consent before we vote on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda carries. We've already done the mayor's report and reports of council. Did we want Vice Mayor to offer
I think we'll
public
proceed
forum?
for now.
Proceed for now. Okay. Item 8A then.
8A is a resolution reappointing Aaron Streeter to serve as the 4th District Representative to the City of Knoxville Public Property Naming Committee.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
8B is a resolution confirming the reappointment of Brandon Harden and the appointments of Stella Bridgman, Mary Gattal, and Vincent Jones to the African American Equity Restoration Task Force.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, if there are any of those
Um,
folks who are here, if they would just raise their hand.
Yes, are any of
please.
the appointees to the African American Equity Restoration Task Force present? Oh, Pastor Jones, thank you for being here and congratulations. We are very appreciative of your volunteer work on this task force. Okay. Moving right along to resolutions.
11A is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with Knox County in order for Knox County Emergency Management Agency to accept $21,000 as a subrecipient of a grant from the State of Tennessee Department of the Military to maintain KEMA's capability to respond during Department of Energy emergencies.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
11B is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an air rights easement to allow a proposed building at the 1800 block of Cumberland Avenue to span the public right-of-way of the alley located between 18th Street and 19th Street.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
11C is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Neighborhood Housing Incorporated to provide an amount not to exceed $187,609 in Community Development Block Grant funding for its Knox Works Workforce Development Program.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
11D is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Neighborhood Housing Incorporated to provide an amount not to exceed $349,174 in Community Development Block Grant funding to support Operation Backyard, its minor home repair program.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
11E is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Knoxville, Knox County Community Action Committee to provide an amount not to exceed $548,242 in Community Development Block Grant funding to support the Emergency and Minor Home Repair Program.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
11F is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Centro Hispano de East Tennessee to provide an amount not to exceed $56,000 in Community Development Block Grant funding to support its workforce development program.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12A is an ordinance of the Council of the City of Knoxville to amend Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 2, Section 2-450 of the Knoxville City Code to adjust the pay rates of professional stormwater engineers and recreation interns.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Councilmember Parker?
I had a question for Ms. Ely on this, but I'm not sure if she is here today.
I don't see her present, so I'm afraid she might not be available, but I mean, it is first reading, so if there's some questions you can share between now and second reading, I'm sure she could respond.
Essentially, I'm a little confused by the pay raise for the recreation interns, while there are summer workers, umpires, coaches, camp leaders that aren't getting the raise. So I was just hoping to hear some of the rationale behind that.
I can't answer those questions right now, but we'll get, I know, I think our CFO, Boyce Evans, gave some preliminary information, but I think Cheryl Ely will be able to provide a little bit more understanding. Unfortunately, she's not present tonight, so, but we can get some answers to you and the rest of council later this week.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Helsley? You may need your microphone on, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just says they were inadvertently omitted, so, I mean, they're just correcting a mistake, so what?
Well, I guess, I understand, yeah, I agree, that's why we're making the change, because this was already passed once, but I guess Councilmember Parker's question was why these positions and not some others, or were some others getting some raises but not, just a fuller understanding of that, which is a fair question, but I don't know those details just yet. But I'm confident, Director Ely knows those details and can provide them, but just not tonight. All right, any further questions or discussion on item 12A? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, one abstention. And I will ask Director Ely to illuminate council members later this week. We have 2 people signed up to speak at public forum, and first is Martha Olson. Ms. Olson, if you could come up to the podium, please turn the microphone on, and you'll have up to 5 minutes to address council. There,
now?
it's on now.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my name is Martha Olson. The address is 2809 Scottish Pike in the South Waterfront area. I was here a few weeks ago and didn't get to speak, but I learned a lot during the meeting. The most touching part was a speech by Ben Bentley of KCDC in which he described the plans for reimagining Western Heights. He described a vision of a community of people from all walks of life and all incomes that were supporting each other. As he spoke, it began to sound more and more familiar, and then I realized he could be describing my neighborhood, and it's already here. I'm here today because of a news story that you all will be receiving reports about my neighborhood on Tuesday. I'm not sure if it's last Tuesday or next Tuesday or whatever. If you haven't received it yet, there is a post dated June 10th on the Knoxville blog, which provides links to 3 different reports. As you read the reports, you will encounter a pie chart in several different places. This is the largest version of it. And on the upper right, it says, mixed use and mixed income development that maintains neighborhood character. And then the quote that you don't see on all the pie charts, but on the big one, it says, controlled growth in a positive direction that will allow families of any income bracket to be part of our community. I assume the quotes came from a public workshop at the Kerbella Temple. You may note that this is secondary. Actually, the first thing was preserving green spaces and have some new cool businesses. That was the most popular, 37 to 27. And then there were some comments about providing adequate infrastructure for population growth. Now, this was a year and a half ago. It might be a good time to mention that the rate of population growth in Knoxville proper is beginning to slow. But I want to direct you especially to the quote below it about parking options, a trolley route, and transit from downtown. So that's the kind of infrastructure the public was looking for. Back to the label on the pie chart. Mixed use and mixed income development that maintains the neighborhood character. This one flummoxed me. In what world do these high-density developments maintain the character of our neighborhood of single-family homes? I'm reminded of an old saying that's rated R, but you can Google it, don't blank and tell me it's raining. When you see that slogan, I want you to remember what's underneath it. Controlled growth in a positive direction that will allow families of any income bracket to be part of our community. Now, I'm personally happy to be welcoming neighbors into the industrial sites, but we do need the city to work with the neighborhood about addressing the traffic flow. Not just arrive to our neighborhood with a plan in place already to make Blunt Avenue one way and route outgoing traffic through a quiet neighborhood, over railroad tracks, and where? Maybe a steep slope to a secondary traffic light? I don't know, you know, nobody came to us first and asked our ideas. And I'd like to mention to the mayor that this would be equivalent of making Broadway one way and routing half of the traffic down Luttrell Street in your neighborhood. What do you think your neighbors would think about that? Probably say the same for a lot of different neighborhoods as well, but this is what they proposed to us, and you can see that in page 115 of one of the reports, and it's also a little bit bigger scale. If you have to look closely on page 131. So that's just something, that's probably my biggest concern at the moment. And so it just feels like an example of the city officials ignoring existing residents. Be sure and look closely. You might need a magnifying glass or blow it up on your computer. There are some graphics on page 15 of the workshop results report. I want you to notice.
Thank you, Ms. Olson. That's 5 minutes.
Okay.
We appreciate your time, and next person signed up to speak is Kimberly Howard. Is Kimberly Howard present? Kimberly Howard. Okay, council members, that concludes the people who signed up to speak to a public forum. Without objection, this meeting is adjourned. And again, I invite council members and other summer interns and other members of the public to join us on Market Square to celebrate the UT Baseball National Champions. Thank you.